Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you have not been here before and this is your first time seeing me, my name is Jessica, so welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a couple things, treats for the holiday coming up, which is Christmas. The first thing on my list will be rock candy, homemade rock candy. Now, if you've made this before, you know it's an easy task. You do have to keep an eye on it when it's on the stove boiling away as far as temperature. So, first, I'm going to show you everything that we need. So, I have some sugar here. This is actually locally grown here in Michigan, United States. I have my liquid measuring cup. I have a rubber spatula. I have my dry ingredients measuring cups. I have food coloring, McCormick. I also have these little bottles of they're oils, flavoring oils. So I have 4 different types here. I made one the other day and it's called Tutti Frutti. The kids loved it. So today I am going to be trying to make all 4 of these. I don't know if I'm going to get to all 4 of them, but I'm going to do my best. I have spearmint, bubblegum, root beer, and cinnamon. All of these I want to make for the holiday. And this is, I don't want to say this wrong, but Loran oils. There is a teaspoon in each of these little glass bottles. And this recipe calls for 1 teaspoon per batch, so I'll just dump the whole bottle in. I have corn syrup, Karo syrup, whatever you want to call it. This one says corn syrup, Meyer brand. I also have a thermometer here that I found on Amazon. I used to have one of these before. I don't know where it went. I've moved. I've lost things within the move, per usual when you move. So this is like a candy thermometer. You stick it on the side of your pan, and you do not let this bottom piece where the mercury is touch the bottom of your pan. You want to be very, very careful with this thermometer because it can break. It has a little clip here on the back, so you can clip it onto the back of your pan. When you do take this off after bringing your recipe up to the temp that it's supposed to be, you need to be very careful because this whole thermometer will be hot. The top plastic will be a little hot. This little wooden ball here, the clip, the whole thermometer will be hot to touch, so you will burn yourself. You want to grab like maybe an oven mitt or a washcloth, anything to grab it off from your pan, but be very, very careful. And also, when you take this off, you don't want to sit it on your counter because it will have that hot molten sugar on it from being in the pan. So you want to grab something to throw it onto, not throw it onto, but sit it on. And that I picked part of the package. The other day when I made my recipe with the Tutti Frutti kind, I actually took it out and I set it on this. Now, when you sit it on this, the sugar will dry and harden up on this, and when you pull it off, it will take some of the wrapper or some of the cardboard covering off of it, which is fine. Just put it under hot water, let it melt off, and you'll be fine. It comes right off. So I'm going to keep this to put this on. Also, you are going to need a pan of powdered sugar. Now, this is my preference. You can grease, oil a pan, a cake pan if you want to, and do it that way. Pour your mixture on it when you're done and it's ready to be poured out to cool. I prefer powdered sugar. I don't know, it's just easier. That's how I grew up doing it, so that's what we're going to use. You also need a pan, a pot. This is a pot that I have. I mean, I'm not going to go out and buy a stainless steel pot for me to make this, rock candy, and this works just fine. Now, if you have non-stick pots, I've never used those before, so I can't personally say if it'll be easy cleaning the sugar off of it or not from the inside. I don't know what the difference is. I've used this and I've used stainless steel. I don't have stainless steel anymore, so this is what I'll be using today. And as far as the other candies, I'll tell you about those here in a little bit after we get this done. Because I haven't figured out which ones I want to do yet. I've got a few that I'm picking from. I'll figure that out here in a minute, but let's get started. Okay, so to start out, you're going to need 3 3/4 cup of sugar. Well, I like to open these bags of sugar, brand new bags of sugar. I ran out because of the rock candy the other day. So, pick this one up, Pioneer. I like to open these up over my sink so that I don't get sugar everywhere. Pay no mind to everything I have going on back here. I have not done my dishes yet for the day. And I have my treats stuff back here for making, baking. My treats that I have already put in containers. They're all just sitting back here chilling because usually I have them on this, sitting over, you know, against the wall. But I need this today, so I had to transfer everything over here. This is the time of the year where my kitchen is usually full of goodies. Three 3/4 cup of sugar. Cups of sugar. Back to my broken cup here. I have not bought another one. This one's still working. Eventually I'll get another set of these measuring cups. I do not have a 3/4 measuring cup, so I'm just going to use a 1/2 and a 1/4. Okay, there's all of our sugar that we need for this recipe. 1 1/2 cups of Karo or corn syrup. Now for candy recipes that are set in stone like rock candy, you don't want to stray too far away from how much you actually have to have for the recipe. So you want to get down low to the level that you need it at in your measuring cup to make sure that is exactly where your ingredient is. 1 1/2 cup going in the pot. Rock candy is kind of like a science. Okay, next we have 1 cup of water. A little bit more. All right, that'll do it for that one. Now I'm going to throw this pot onto my stove, attach the thermometer to it, and get it started. These little packages, these little papers that are on these oils, they're plastic. Let it focus there. And there it is. So these little papers right here, they are hard to get off. So you're going to need a knife or some sort of tool to get them off because I don't have nails and it is hard for me to get them off. So let me get this opened real quick. And it's off. You also want to get your food coloring ready. I think for this one, because I'm going to do cinnamon, I'm going to use the red. Move these oils away from the burner. Get my thermometer attached to the pan, the pot. You want it just down there. And you also want to make sure that you're able to see where your temp's supposed to be. So for this recipe, the sugar is going to need to be at 300, which is about right here. And I'm going to watch it very closely once it starts to come up to boil. Now remember, do not let this thermometer touch the bottom of your pan. All right, time to get this started. Also, I forgot to say, it would be a very good idea if you get a little bit of water and a brush of some sort. Like, hold on, I'll show you real quick. I got a little bowl of water and like a little brush. So what I'll do when it starts to boil is dip my brush into this bowl of water and take it around the inside of the pan where I see sugar crystals so that they can melt down and get into the mixture so that your rock candy isn't a grainy texture. So I have that off to the side waiting. I will be back when it starts to boil and we can watch our thermometer. And here you see it is now boiling. You want to stir while it boils. And of course, keep an eye on your thermometer there. Be very careful not to splash this around. You want to do really tiny swirls on the bottom. All right, so now you can see everything has came down from all the white bubbles of boiling. This is the time that you want to take your brush and water and go around the sides to make sure all of that sugar is off the sides. Now to let the temperature rise. Looks like my temperature might be about 225 right now. And you can stir occasionally. You don't want to stir too much, but just barely stir to kind of get everything moving around. Get the heat evenly distributed. You don't want to stir it fast at this point. For one, it is too hot to be splashing. And for two, you don't want your mixture to go up the sides of your pot. Now, this rubber spatula, you want to make sure you set it somewhere that you can remove it from easily. It is a rubber spatula. That is why I chose rubber spatula, is because the hard candy that cools on the spatula, you can just bend your spatula and it'll pop right off. But I'm going to set this over here on my cast iron area of my stove. Okay, and as you guys can see, it is creeping up to 250 degrees. We're not there yet. We want to get to 300. That is degrees in Fahrenheit. Celsius is on the other side, which would be a little under 150 degrees Celsius is where you want the temperature of your candy. Alright, as you can see at this point, it is almost to 250 degrees, and once it gets there, in no time, it will get straight up to 300. So at this point, I am not leaving my kitchen. It is snowing here like crazy. I'll show you here in a minute. Once I get the rock candy done, I'll take you guys outside and show you how much snow we have so far. So my temperature on the thermometer is right at 250 degrees. So at this point, I am no longer going to stir this pot. I'm going to let it sit and creep up on 300 degrees. And then add my flavor and my coloring and go from there. Alright guys, we're creeping up on 300 degrees, so it's almost time to take this off the stove. Once it hits 300 degrees, I'm going to turn the heat off, pour in my flavoring, and get my food coloring in, and give it a good stir. And we're there. Take my thermometer out first. Get my flavoring. Pour that right in. Food coloring. Put about 15 drops. Slowly stir this. Stir it very good too. Very well, whatever you want to call it. All right, we're almost there. I think it's time to take this over to the powdered sugar and get it poured on. All right, here we go. Be very, very careful. Kind of want to try and get these thin. You can adjust after you pour it all into your pan. You want to make sure your powdered sugar is flat. You don't want dips in your powdered sugar. Oh, jeez. Very, very, very strong cinnamon. It's burning my nose. Don't put your face too close to this. Hang on. All right, I'm gonna get this pan right over to the sink. Want to kind of spread this around. Make sure it's not too thick. Be careful though when you're spreading this around. You don't want to dig into your powdered sugar. All right. I think that about does it. Now this will take some time to cool down. So while you're letting this cool, if you have some other things that you need to get done, treat-wise or whatever, go ahead and get those going. because it's not going to hurt anything to let it sit all day, even if you need. And then when it cools down, I'm going to take it and break it up. Well, guys, here is the snow we literally just got this morning. Look at that. Winter is officially here. Okay, everybody, so I have my rock candy behind me cooling off into the pan and firming up so I can break it into pieces. Next, I'm going to do Christmas crack candy. You heard it, Christmas crack candy. This stuff is like one of the best things I have ever made. I don't know what it is about the caramel, the chocolate, the saltiness, you know. But before I do this Christmas crack candy, I want to show you a few things that I had found at my local store. Okay, first off, I want to show you these right here. So this is a little kit. It's a decorating kit. And it is made by Wilton. As you can see right here, it's got a few of these in here. You can make more than one. For really, you could put it on anything. You can put it on your sugar cookies. You could put it on your cupcakes. You could put it on a cake. Whatever you want to do with it. So it's got some Twizzlers here that you peel apart. It's got some candies here that are for the nose, and candies for the eyes, and candies for the, you know, ear muffs that they have going on here. Next, I picked up some of these Santa Claus heads and reindeer heads. So these are great for cupcakes. These are great for cookies, cakes, whichever you'd like to do. And all these are from Wilton Company. And now you have the snowflakes and the snowmen. And Christmas trees. I also found these sparkling sprinkles. You got the red, the white, the green, and the silver. 4 different colors. They're just candy sprinkles, you know, little sugar crystals. On this one, you've got the gold. You've got the little candies here of silver. You got gold. You got silver. I mean, these are, you know, somewhat of Christmas colors. And my favorite is this one right here. So you've got the snowflakes that are white, blue, and silver. You've got the little pebbles here that are blue and white. You got the tiny little pebbles here that are white. And then the blue, baby blue, and white sprinkles, along with some silver stars and some blue sugar crystals. I found this. It is holly mix, and it is just holly. You see the red and you see the green? I thought those are pretty neat. And these are little tiny candy canes, red and white. I figured those are pretty neat. Grab those. Then you have a mixture of snowflakes, sugar crystals, and little silver pebbles in this one. The blue and white snowflakes. And what I'll be using today on this Christmas crack candy are little tiny pieces of peppermint candy. Just broken up. You can break them up yourself, you know, take little peppermint candies and smash them up in a bag. Be just the same, but I grabbed this because it's more convenient for me. Okay, everybody. Let's see. Let's move all this out of the way. Lost my train of thought. Got my pot here. So what I'm going to need is saltine crackers. I'm going to line the bottom of my pan with them. Okay, so I have my cooking sheet lined with saltine crackers. Just throw everything back there. I'll get to it after this. All right, I need 1 cup of brown sugar and 2 sticks. I'm going to use 2 sticks of this Imperial here. Vegetable oil spread. I call it butter. As you may know already, those of you who have seen me on here, you know, my other videos, or those of you, you know, also those of you who have subscribed, you know I call all of this butter, even though it is margarine, vegetable spread, whichever. I'm going to throw 2 sticks of this in my pan here. One cup of brown sugar. And I am packing it in the cup. This is going to go on the stove and everything's going to melt down and get well incorporated together. Now, while this is going, my sugar and butter is going on the stove and melting away, I have preheated my oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. While I have that going on, I'm going to break up the rock candy. Gonna take another pan. That is hard. So you want to take, see, I can pick it up. It's pretty neat, actually. The side versus the side in the sugar. So what I want to do is take my spatula and just well, not quite like that. Wow. So, I don't want to break it up in that powdered sugar because if I do that, then the other rock candy that I'm putting in here on my other batches are going to have cinnamon flavor in those too, and I don't want to intermix them. Just take and bust it. Bust it up. Carefully though, because you don't want to hit it too hard to where little shards fly. Okay, my candy is done now. I'm going to get a container to store them in. Okay, I think it's time to cover the saltine crackers cover my saltine crackers with my sugar and butter mix. So all I did with this is melted it all together and made sure everything was completely melted. Now, I'm going to pour this over the top of my saltine crackers. Making a mess. That's how it is, though. Making a mess in the kitchen is usually, I say making the mess is the best. Now, a messy burger is good. A messy kitchen, not that good, because you got to clean it. My saltine crackers don't really cover this whole pan, and I would have to break up crackers for this to cover the whole pan. But that's okay. Slowly pour on your crackers. Just drizzle. I started pouring way too fast, too much. That's why my crackers moved. And I just did it again. Oh, and again. Crazy. That's okay. It is what it is. Every cracker will be covered. All right. So I guess I'm going to try and move these crackers more center of my pan. Then I'm going to shove this in the oven at 400 degrees for 5 minutes. Timer has started. When that comes out, we're going to put the chocolate chips over the top. So my cutting board is dirty. I don't feel like doing dishes right now. I will today at some point. So I'm just going to take a plate, dump some of these walnuts on it, and cut them up. That way I can put these also on the top of my treat that's in the oven. You could use a food processor, but I don't own one. So I'm just going to use my knife. Now with this treat candy that I'm doing right now, Christmas crack, you can, oh, it sounds so funny. You can put whatever you want on the top of it. Anybody remember the Jeopardy music? Think of that. Oh, time's up. Okay. Be very, very careful. Very careful taking this out. Now, all you have to do at this point is pour your chocolate chips over the top. The heat from the pan and the crackers and the mixture will melt down your chocolate. You want to try and put them on there evenly though, to where you don't have to spread so much. I think that's going to be more than enough chocolate. You want to get a rubber spatula or something of that sort, or even a metal spatula, it don't matter. Looks like everything is ready to be spread around. Alright, so to this I'm going to do probably half peppermint and half with just the walnuts. Kind of want to push those onto the chocolate. Okay, now I'm going to grab some white melting chocolate. These are Wilton, again, Wilton brand candy melts. They are bright white. So I'm just going to take a few of these and melt them down on top of the stove. Not too many of them because I don't really need a whole lot of it. So I have decided, so I'm just going to take this and spread it over the top of the one that has walnuts. some sprinkles, colorful sprinkles. I think I'm going to go with green to start out. Now these are the sugar crystals. It's a very sugary snack, treat, candy, whatever you want to call it. So I did put the peppermint candy on more than half of this, and I put the walnuts on probably, I don't know, a little over a third of it. And that's it for that. I'll put this in the freezer and let it cool and then take it out and crack it up. It's Christmas crack candy. As you can see, that's why they call it Christmas crack candy. Now I, unfortunately, did not grease the bottom of my pan. So yay me. Well, as you can see, you just scoop and it all cracks up. Huge piece. I just got to break the rest of this up. Breaks right in half. Do not forget to grease your pan before you pour this in there.
It's like, look.
Yeah. Well, guys, there you have it. The Christmas crack candy and cinnamon rock candy. Old-fashioned cinnamon rock candy. I still got some on this pan that I need to break up and get out, but I wanted to hurry up and throw it on here and show you guys real quick what it all looks like. Delicious. Take one of these and try it. I've had it before, but you know what? I'm going to try it for you. Wow. Christmas crack candy. Well, everyone, I just want to say thank you for stopping by again and watching my videos, and thank you to those of you who this is your first time seeing my videos. I'm doing this little run of holiday treats marathon, and I'm trying to add some different videos here and there in between. I guess it's more like I take it one day at a time. I show you my mess ups. I show you my triumphs. I don't hide anything in my kitchen, obviously. My kitchen don't always look like this, but it's life. It's real life. I mean, you see my kitchen, not perfect. I have a tiny little kitchen here. I mean, I have 30 dishes. I have all of my baking things over there. I don't know. I like to show the real thing. There's too many things on the internet that are not real at all. So, yeah. Well, I'm going to jump off of here and start working on my next video for the holiday treats. I might throw something special in there, or, you know, something like a bonus recipe, a meal, or something of that sort. So, like I said, thanks for stopping by and checking out my channel, and be sure to tune in for the next upcoming video. If you have not subscribed and you like my content, please don't be afraid to subscribe. It don't cost you a penny. And like my videos, share my videos, get me out there, you know, to show these easy recipes and old-fashioned recipes. I do old-fashioned recipes. I don't do the glitz and glamour of the kitchen, of, you know, the high-end looking treats. I do old-fashioned. I love the taste of old-fashioned. Now, some things that I do, the recipes I do, are new and I have not done before, but I always look up the recipe for old-fashioned. Now, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to have the recipe and directions in my description box. So if you like what I make, just check it out and go from there. Don't be afraid to make things. Don't be afraid to mess up in your kitchen. Not everybody is perfect. There's no such thing as perfect, to be honest. What is normal anymore? There's no normal. You know, everybody, to me, we're all the same. All right. I hope you guys have a great day and are celebrating like crazy for the upcoming holidays. Can't talk. Those of you who've been here know, I hope everybody is celebrating for the upcoming holidays that you have in store. And even if you don't celebrate holidays, these are very good recipes to even have in your house, especially if you have children or if you want to gift a few things to your friends and family. So, all right, like I said, I hope you guys have a great day.